The 4-hour chart is one of the most underrated time frames in Forex trading. You have traders who either go too short, jumping between the 1-minute and 5-minute charts, chasing every single move, or they go too long and end up waiting days for a setup. The 4-hour chart sits right in the middle, clean signals, less screen time, and big enough moves to make it worth your while. Hello everyone, I'm Lien. I've been trading this time frame for over 20 years. Our last video on this strategy broke 178,000 views, and today I'm giving you the updated version with the exact settings I'm using right now, including one specific change on how I manage trades that I think will make a real big difference for you. So let's get straight into it. But before I give you the setup, it's worth understanding why getting the time frame wrong is one of the most expensive mistakes that traders can make. If you go too short, 1-minute, 5-minute charts, you're drowning in the noise, especially in Forex. You end up overtrading setups that go nowhere and burning out before a real move develops. You go too long, daily or weekly, and you're waiting weeks for a setup, and when it finally comes, the distance between the entry and the stop can be enormous. One bad trade wipes out a month of patience. Most traders ping pong between these two extremes and wonder why they can't find consistency. The 4-hour chart fixes that. Slow enough to filter the noise out, fast enough to give you regular opportunities, and the moves it catches are large enough to justify the risk. The balance is why this time frame has been central to how I trade over the past few decades. The strategy that I like to use uses two moving averages, the 20 SMA and the 200 SMA. Moving averages are one of my favorite tools because they do two things at once. They act as dynamic support and resistance levels, and they measure momentum. That combination is incredibly powerful when you know how to use it. The 20 SMA tracks short-term momentum, where price has been over the last 20 candles. The 200 SMA tracks the longer-term trend, where price has been over the last 200 candles. When these two lines cross, it tells you something meaningful has shifted in the market. Now, you might have seen other strategies of the 5 SMA and the 50 SMA crossover. I use those settings myself in the past, and I incorporate them in some of my shorter-term analysis. But over the last year, the Forex market has been going through longer periods of consolidation. Price waiting for headlines, waiting for data before making its real move. In that kind of environment, shorter moving averages can actually create too much noise. You get signals that look clean and then they end up going nowhere. Switching to the 20 and 200 smooths that out. You get fewer signals, but the ones that you get tend to be far more reliable. And that's the trade-off that I'm comfortable with. So the first thing you're looking for is the 20 SMA crossing the 200 SMA. When the 20 SMA crosses above the 200 SMA, short-term momentum has shifted positive, and so you should be looking for longs. When the 20 SMA crosses below the 200 SMA, short-term momentum has shifted negative, so you should be looking for shorts. That crossover is your directional signal. It tells you which side of the market that you want to be on, and this is very important, it's not your entry. A lot of traders see the crossover and jump in right away at market. That's a mistake. What you want to do is you want to wait for price to pull back within 5 pips of the 20 SMA. That's your entry point. Why? Because by the time the crossover happens, price is often already moved significantly. Chasing that momentum means a worse entry, a wider effective stop, and less room for the trade to develop. The longer moving averages we're using mean the moves tend to be more substantial. So waiting for the retrace doesn't cost you the trade. It just gives you a cleaner entry into it. So the sequence is this. First, the crossover happens. You note the direction, and then you wait. When the price pulls back to within 5 pips of the 20 SMA, that's when you enter. This is where I want to be very specific because the original video was not specific enough. Once you're in the trade, your stop loss should be 50 pips or points, fixed from entry. This is your risk on the trade. Your first target, 40 pips. When price hits 40 pips or points in your favor, close half of the position, take that profit off the table, then trail your stop by the remainder by 25 pips. The moment you close that first half, start trailing immediately on the rest. The last point matters more than it might seem, and I'll come back to it in just a moment because it's the specific update that's really made the difference in how I manage these trades. The pair where the strategy has consistently performed well for me are the Euro crosses, Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi, Euro Dollar. These pairs tend to trend cleanly, and when they move with conviction. They don't chop around the same way other pairs do, and that's exactly the kind of price action that this strategy is built to catch. A clear shift in direction followed by a sustained move. Let me show you a recent Euro Aussie trade as a live example. The 20 SMA crossed above the 200 SMA, directional signal confirmed, looking for longs. price then pulled back and came within a few pips of the 20 SMA, your entry is triggered. What was notable about this particular trade is how little it moved against us after the entry. The setup was clean, price moved in our direction almost immediately, and there was minimal drawdown throughout. And that's the ideal scenario. It's what you look for when you're waiting for that proper retrace entry rather than trying to chase the crossover. The trail stop did limit the very top of the move. That's always the trade-off with trailing stops. You can't get all of the move, but it locked in profit when the price started to consolidate. That's a discipline built into the trading rules. Now, a lot of you trade gold, so I want to address this directly because the 4-hour strategy behaves very differently there. Gold has been trending strongly in 2026. So with these signal settings, we've only had 3 signals throughout the year. 2 big winners on the short side and 1 small loser. I know that sounds frustrating. 3 signals in 12 months, but here's the thing. This is a strategy working correctly. When an asset is in a strong, sustained trend and you catch the move at the right point, you don't need frequent signals. You need only 1 or 2 really good ones. Gold volatility means that when these setups trigger, the potential reward is significant. A patient trader who has waited for those signals came out very well ahead. The mistake most traders make, though, is with gold in the longer time frames that they force to trade when there are no signals. I know we're all guilty of this. They see price moving, they want to be involved, and they take setups that don't meet the rules. That's how you turn a great strategy into a losing one. The signal will come. Don't force it. I mentioned there was a specific update to the trade management that I wanted to come back to. So here it is. The common approach when the trade goes in your favor is this. Hit the first target, close half, move your stop to break even, and start trailing. It feels like the safe move. You've locked in a profit, you can't lose in the trade, and now you're trailing for the move. The problem is what happens in consolidation market conditions. Price doesn't move in a straight line. Even on a strong 4-hour setup, there will often be a natural pullback after your first target before the bigger move develops. If you've moved your stop to break even, that pullback hits your stop. You're out of the trade with half a profit's position or half a position's profit. And then you watch price continue in your direction without you. So here's what I like to do instead. The moment you hit that 40 pip first target and close half of the position, start the trail immediately. 25 pips on the remainder right away. Don't move to break even first. Don't wait, start trailing from that point. Yes, that means you could give back more of the open profit in the second half of the position and reverses sharply, but you're limited, right? Because you closed half at 40 pips. But what it does mean is that you end up staying in the trade through the natural consolidation and the pullback that happens mid-move. And when the bigger move develops, you're still in on it. On the 4-hour chart, those are the trades that define your month. The ones where the setup runs significantly further than your first target. Staying in those trades longer is worth the slightly higher risk on the trail. A small adjustment, but meaningful difference. One more thing I want to be straightforward about. If you're currently trading prop firm challenges, this is probably not your primary strategy. The 4-hour chart produces fewer signals, and the patience it requires doesn't fit quite well with the timeline that the drawdown rules of most challenges. For that, I recommend dropping to the 1-hour chart, which I use all the time, especially for my zip strategy. You get more frequent setups while still filtering out the short-term noise that kills prop traders on the lower time frame. This strategy is built for traders who are selective by nature. If you feel like you need to be in a trade every single day to be productive, the 4-hour chart will end up frustrating you. There'll be days, sometimes weeks, when there's no clean setup on your pairs. But if you're the kind of trader who can wait, who would rather have one genuinely high-quality setup per week and trade it with conviction, then this is built for you. The lower frequency is a feature, not a bug. Every signal that passes the rules has earned its place. So to bring it all together, 2 moving averages, the 20 SMA and the 200 SMA on the 4-hour chart, wait for the crossover to confirm direction, then wait for price to retrace within 5 pips of the 20 SMA before entering. 40-point first target, 50-point stop loss, trail the remainder at 25 pips immediately. Don't move to break even first. Best pairs are the Euro crosses, Euro dollar, Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi. Gold also works, but the signals are rare, and when they come, they can be very powerful. This 4-hour chart remains one of the cleanest ways to trade Forex and commodities without being chained to your screen. Fewer signals, higher quality, and a trade management structure designed to keep you in trades that really run. If you want to see the same approach with more frequent signals, try it on the 1-hour chart. I've broken that down in full detail in another video that I'll share with you later. That's the next step if you're looking for more setups without sacrificing the quality of this approach. Happy trading, and I will see you in the next one.